Hello everyone, myself Rutu Patel, lecturer in chemistry from Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology, welcomes you all to the active learning video session today on the GTU paper solution. Okay, in this session we will be discussing GTU summer paper 2013, and in that on the subject taken is applied science, that is chemistry. Here we will be taking entire GTU paper of the summer exam 2013 with the solutions, and in this session we will be discussing on how to write the GTU paper. That is very important. Let us try to begin with some tips to write the GTU paper. Now see, whenever you get a paper in the hand, the first and the foremost thing that you are supposed to do is you should read all the questions very nicely. Take some time to refer the question paper and then only start writing the answers. Don't be in the hurry. First you decide which question you are going to attempt and how much you are going to write in that particular question. The mind should be very clear with what question you are supposed to attempt and what question you are actually not clear about. Okay, suppose you feel that you need some time to think on particular question, leave some space and then proceed ahead. Don't waste time on that particular question to think, and then you will waste the time. After that you will end up with the lack of time at the end of paper. That should not happen. So for that reason it is advisable that you refer all the papers well, and after that you start writing the questions answers. Okay, so that is very important. Now in the chemistry, as far as the chemistry paper is concerned, there are different types of the questions that comes in the exam. You can find the questions like filling the blanks, or you can say 1 mark objective, or it can be 2 mark objective, or it can be a long description questions, or it can be something numerical based. It can be chemical reactions that are asked in the examination. For that point it is very important from your side to note that which point you are supposed to write for that particular question. If it is a 2 marks question, then it is always advisable that you write the theory in a very small sentences, and that too with the limited restricted words of the answer. So that is very important. You cannot keep on writing entire theory if it is asked for the 2 marks. So take care that what content you are supposed to write, that also depends on the marks weightage. If it is a filling the blanks, you have to write down the answer straight away. In that case it is always advisable that you don't write entire calculations for the filling the blanks if there is a numerical type of filling the blanks, or it is a simple objective type of filling the blanks. For that you are supposed to write directly the answers in the blanks. Suppose it is a long question like write down the construction and working. Okay, so for that you are supposed to draw the diagram to explore that particular question, right? And your diagram should be such that it should be neat and labeled diagram, where you can just from the diagram your examiner can come to know about the certain things which you have written in the answer too. Okay, so that care one has to take, and diagram is like something which speaks more than your theory. Okay, so take care in the chemistry when you are drawing the diagrams, it should be very nice, it should be neat and clean, and it should convey something about the content of the answer in a very clear manner. So that should be kept in the mind. Suppose there is a numerical asked. Okay, for that reason numerical should be such that you have to first write down the formula for that particular sum, right? Suppose if you are solving any numerical, it is very important from your side that you write the formula for the numerical and then you will attempt it ahead. Each and every steps of the answer should be shown very clearly in the numerical. So suppose if you are attempting to the, suppose it is a pH sum, okay, you will write down minus log of H3O plus ion concentration. Then what you will do, you will put the data in the numerical. After that you are supposed to separate each and every term in that particular answer. So that is very important from your side. Okay, so this care has to be taken while solving the numerical. When you will end your numerical, the care you are supposed to take is you should write the unit for the answer. Suppose you have found anything like pH, then there is no unit. Suppose you have found anything in concentration, then you have to write the unit of of that. Okay, so anything that you are concluding at the end should end up with the unit of that particular numerical, so that will only complete your answer. Suppose you are writing something very descriptive, in case if it is not required, then your marks will get deducted. Another thing while writing the GTU paper is very important, that is how to present the paper. Suppose you are writing a paper that is in a very dirty handwriting, I think it will not give you the good marks. The reason is that the concepts that you are explaining is not clearly conveyed to the examiner. So it is very important from your side to write the paper in a good handwriting. That is most important thing which you are supposed to remember in the examination hall. Do not write anything rubbish in the question paper. Okay, take care of these things, because what will happen, you cannot write anything apart from the topic. If question is asked the electrochemical cell diagram, and if you are drawing something different and explaining something different, then you cannot expect yourself to get some marks on that topic. You have to ensure that whatever question is asked to you is conveyed by you in the similar manner to the examiner. Okay, so that is very important. Be very clear when you are writing your question paper with the answers. For that reason, you need to remember all the simple concepts, all the simple formulas that comes in chemistry, and recollect it on the right time. So that is very important. Take care of the good handwriting, because your handwriting is going to create the first image on the examiner. If you are giving it in the good writing, then definitely your image will be much better. And not only the handwriting, but the good knowledge is also important. At the same time, examiner should feel that whatever you are writing is really in the perfect manner, then your marks will not get deducted. So these are some tips which one has to remember whenever you are solving any GTU paper, especially the chemistry is concerned. It is subject of the theory. Okay, so you can say that numericals, theory, reactions, all the things are the mixture of in chemistry. So what happens, at each and every time you have to give the justice to all the topics equally in the chemistry. You cannot say that you will leave the numericals and attempt only theory, or you cannot say that you will do only objectives and will not attempt the lengthy question. So that should actually not happen when you are attempting the things. Be very clear in the mind, tick the questions that you are going to attempt, and after that only start writing. When you are writing, you have to make sure one more thing, that whatever questions you are attempting, you have to ensure that you are fully confident on that questions. Because what happens, sometimes it is seen that students feel that if they are opting for question 1 ABC, then they feel that if they would have attempted other questions, then they would have done much more better. So this kind of feeling should not come when you leave the examination hall. Whenever you are giving your answers, you have to take care that you represent the paper in the form of points, in the form of the star points. Okay, so that is very important. If you are writing more theory, that is very clumsy, and if you are writing 2-3 pages without any reason, I think that doesn't make any sense in writing the paper. So take care that you are writing the theory that is actually facilitated with the good points. Scientific language is very important when you are writing the GTU papers. Okay, you cannot write the things in your own language, because science is involved everywhere, and you have to convey your answers in the term of science, and whatever engineering terms are there, make sure that you are writing your answers in that terms only. Otherwise your marks will get deducted. Always take care when you are leaving the examination hall. You have to ensure one more thing, that you are checking your question paper before leaving the things. It means you are just checking whether you have, by mistake, if you have forgotten to attempt any question, or if you have attempted the question in the correct option or not. Or suppose if you have written the answers, just check your supplementary before submitting. That will minimize some mistakes that you always do in the examination hall. So what happens, before leaving you should check the supplementary, so that it becomes a good habit and you can correct some mistakes by your own way before leaving the examination hall. So that is one more good thing that you have to actually remember. Okay, so these things play very important role. You have to remember each and every tips that is given while writing the GTU paper, and I think if you follow this thing, there are no chances of the error. Take care of each and every small things. Remember that you are coming to give the exam seriously and not doing any time pass in the examination hall. So take care of all these things before you start a paper. In this session we will be discussing summer 2013 GTU question paper with the entire solution on applied science chemistry. So what we are doing is, we'll take entire question paper with answers, and I will teach you how you will be representing each and every answer in the particular manner, what is demanded for what particular question, what things you are supposed to write, that we will be taking up in this session. Okay, so let us continue the session with the question number 3 that is given here. So you can see question 4 that we will start up from this thing. Question 4a states that the first part, A part, consists of explain pH, discuss its importance and its in the different fields. So what does it means? That you are supposed to explain the pH, then you are supposed to explain the importance in the different field. Okay, so that we will go ahead. Look at the answer. pH is defined as negative logarithm of concentration of H3O plus ions expressed in moles per liter to the base 10. So here is a definition of the pH. From that you can see very clearly there is a mathematical form of the pH given below. It is given as minus log of H3O plus ion concentration. Next thing is that importance. What is the importance? You know that in the biomedical field, to know the urine and blood pH, in chemical laboratory to know nature of acid, base or neutral solutions, in paper and textile industries, okay, in city water supply, in agriculture field to know the soil nature. So these all the fields where the pH is extremely important, and in the 5 marks question they are demanding us to explain the pH. So that's why we have given the definition, as well as we have given the mathematical form, as well as we have given the importance. These 3 points when you are completing in one answer, then your 5 marks question answer is now over. Let us try to understand the next question. Question 4b, that is the first part is pitting corrosion and second part demanded is N-type semiconductor. Now what we are going to do is, we will write a short note on pitting corrosion and then we will write a short note on N-type. So you can imagine this is a question which is actually carrying 5 marks, but it has again a sub questions in a same question. So if you see here, the first of all we are trying to explain here is how pitting corrosion occurs. Okay, so that we will write down. The part of metal surface which are covered with rust, scale, dirt gets less oxygen than rest of part. This part with lower concentration of oxygen acts as anode and other part acts as cathode. Corrosion begins from anode. Okay, so now what happens once the corrosion begins from the anode? So deeper and deeper cavity is formed, which results in formation of pinholes, pits and cavities, and that is why this type of corrosion is known as your pitting corrosion. This completes the entire short note whenever you are writing your pitting corrosion. Let us try to understand N-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor is formed by addition of pentavalent impurity of arsenic in silicon or germanium. So what happens, you are adding the pentavalent impurity in N-type semiconductor, and there what happens, out of 5 valence electrons, the 4 electrons are used up in forming the covalent bond, and then what happens, these 4 electrons are used up, so remaining 1 extra electron, that is responsible for the conduction in N-type of semiconductor. Why it is called N-type semiconductor? Because the conduction of electricity occurs due to valence electron, and this valence electron is actually responsible there for conduction. So N-type means negatively charged carrier is responsible for conduction of electricity in this type of semiconductor. So here we have written the entire short note on N-type semiconductor. So this completes our 5 marks question with that. You can see the next question, that is question 4c. What does it state? The most important question that is always asked in the GTU examination, that is what is electrochemical series? Write about its importance. The series in which different electrodes are arranged in decreasing order of their standard oxidation potential is called electrochemical series. Okay, so this one has to remember. The next thing that you can see very clearly here is we have given the definition. Now what we are supposed to write is the importance, why this series is important. So its importance is consist of the different points. So what is the first importance? The metal which occupies highest position in series is most reactive metal. So this is the first point in the electrochemical series. The second point states that the metal which are above hydrogen in position gets corroded easily in presence of acid. Okay, this is the second point. Third point, it states that when two metals are in electrical contact in presence of electrolyte, the more active metal suffers corrosion. So that is very again important thing that one has to remember. Okay, so this question 4 actually consists of the importance of the series. Next point in the importance are: the rate of corrosion depends on difference in position of two metals in series. Positive value of delta E, that is EMF, indicates oxidation of metal, and negative value of EMF indicates reduction of metal. So this is very important point. So this completes your 4 marks of the long question answer. Okay, that is always required to be written in the GTU. Let us try to take the 5th question. That was asked, explain covalent bond. Now you can understand this question. They have left up to us what we are supposed to write in this covalent bond. So they have just written one word, explain covalent bond. It means you will take the entire thing, that is you will take up the reaction, you will take up characteristics, you will take up the definitions also. Okay, the second question, that is short note on chlorination of water, again ask for the 5 marks. And the third question, that is C part, is asked on the numerical based. Let us try to answer the next question. Explain covalent bond. So we will start up with the definition. What is the definition? The bond formed by mutual sharing of electron pair between two atoms is called covalent bond. Okay, so covalent bond is what? The bond formed by sharing of electron pair between two atoms. So this is our definition. The second thing we have taken here is the example, the formation of H2. So what happens? There is sharing of the electron pair between two H atoms, and that results in formation of H2 molecule. We can also take up another example of Cl2 molecule.